Hello and welcome to Mirror Talk. We have moments where we just have to pause. Just pause and take a break and reflect on life. Remember, you are strong, you are enough, you are capable, you are blessed, and you are loved. Your moment of greatness starts now.
Last episode, I had the opportunity to speak with Olamide Olabimpe Olayiwola, and I learned a lot from her. She spoke about confidence, she spoke about empowerment, she spoke about being happy by yourself and for yourself. Last episode, we stopped at a particular question which deals with, handling of mistakes and failures, and she had this to say.
The question currently applies to me as well, because sometimes you get very tired of doing something and it feels like nothing is working. It feels like you keep making the mistake. There is no solution to this problem, right? You just keep. I don't think that maybe letting go. I'm not so much of a fan of letting go of past. Maybe what you need to do is to accept the past. It does not mean that you're a slave to it. It does not mean that you're a slave to the past, right? It means that maybe you're just accepting that it's a part of your journey, or it's a part of your life. It is a part of what happened. It is a part of what will make your story interesting, right? It's a part of what would make you be the encouragement that other people need, right? I tell people that when you share a testimony about badging a scholarship, tell them that you got 67 rejections. When you're sharing testimonies about you got a job, your dream job, tell them about how many times that same company rejected you. It encourages other people, because other people will not just feel stupid that they are doing things and nothing is working and all of these things. So I think we should get to a particular stage where we accept that, okay, this is a part of my journey. The fact that I fail now does not mean that I am a failure, right? It is just a part of what is, the road that is going to be not so straight. But in the end, I'm going to get to where I'm going to. That's the important thing. I'm focused on the end, or on the end product. And this is where I'm going. And while I'm going there, I could trip, fall, but I'll get up.
Of course. Wow, that's great. Wait, that brings me to one question. All what you've said now is about having a mindset that is very resilient. Are there tricks or tips? Because sometimes it's you feel like, okay, I know the theory, but how will I utilize it and do it?
I'm not a motivational speaker.
I'm not.
And I believe so much in individuality, in the uniqueness in everybody. We're unique in our different ways. So and maybe this is why I'm not a motivational speaker. I feel like sometimes things that work for me might not work for every other person. And yes, I feel like it is very, very important for you to have a resilient spirit, a spirit that will not die, that would say that no matter what, if you put that no, I will still apply again. A spirit. And it's not easy. I feel like one thing that could help, first of all, people should find out how they could develop this. I think everybody's journey is just different, right? So people should check within themselves how they could actually get there. But one thing that I would say would help is if you have people around you who are probably going through the same thing. I have a friend, most of the time, anytime my head is full and I feel like nothing is working for me, he's always around the corner. I just be like, hey, okay, so this is happening. And then he's probably going through the same thing, and he tells me, okay, blah, 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 we'll get through this. So the fact that that probably that you're not the only one going through this, it might help you be like, okay, this person is also going through this person is also going, this is normal, let me keep pushing. Right? So you have friends that will support you, friends that will tell you that, guy, this thing is normal, keep pushing. Friends that will not give up on you. People around you, maybe it's your mother, your sister, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, anybody around you that could that could help you, that would push you. Yeah, I feel that works.
Wow. So one has to surround oneself with people that push you forward, that help you not relax or relent. And wow. That's nice. And that brings me to, I know you've not released this yet, right? But you're working on a project, women empowerment. Yes, and I want you to throw some lights and give us some tips. Yeah.
I'm working on a particular project. I'm, like I mentioned, I'm a feminist. I'm very big on like bettering women, and I feel like it all boils down to the mentality. If you are, a lot of things put women down in our society. Like, we live in an unequal world. Some people don't want to believe that. That's whatever it is that they want to believe. We live in an unequal world, and we want a world where everybody would be whatever or whoever they want to be, regardless of the gender or whatever. You can dream big. You can dream bigger than yourself. As much as we're trying to tell other people that they should not put women down, I think that it's very, very important. Alongside, I'm someone who would just write you off if you're a sexist, or if you're sexist in any way or whatever. I would write you off. I don't care about you. So basically, as much as you talk to people like this and tell them that what you're saying is outright wrong, go and read and educate yourself on all of these things.
Yeah.
I think we need to channel the same energy into bettering women, because living in a society and listening to a number of things like you're not going to amount to anything, you're in the end, what are you doing? In the end, they tell you stuff like, yes, you can dream, but you cannot dream too big, because you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that.
Yes.
All these things that you hear, they form an opinion in your head, a huge part of you that automatically puts you down, that automatically makes you think less of yourself. So while we're talking about other people, not putting women down, I also am very passionate about like helping women with the mentality that they already have, like unlearning a number of things, that culture, society, people have put in our heads, right? We can grow bigger than we could ever imagine, ever. And this boils down to the mentality and kind of things that go on in our head. Like in it's, I don't want to share the title, but it's a book that basically is gonna help women. I feel like it's going to just let you know that you're bigger than you can ever imagine. I'm a storyteller. I like to tell stories. So I want to, as much as teach people, also tell a story. Like tell a story and teach people. So it's a number of things that I'm working on. I'm really excited about this project. It's one thing that is going to make me proud when I release it. It's going to make me so proud, because yes, I'm very, very passionate about women.
I'm looking forward to seeing the product. Are we going to expect it? Are we expecting this year, or when are we expecting to?
I don't want to put a date to it. I mean, I have started, but some other things are working and going on. But hopefully, I'm going to release it at the end of the year. Yeah.
Wow, great. We'll be expecting that.
It's just buy for your girlfriends and your sisters and your mothers.
Of course, all the female in my life. I find it very very good and very interesting, because I'm not a female. I'm a male. I'm a guy. But I find that I can apply this also to myself personally, because we have different struggles. Also, we have they can say you're too tall, or you're too short, or your skin color is too dark, or it's too bright. All these kind of things makes creates inequality anywhere you find yourself. And sometimes we look at ourselves and we say all these things to ourselves and say, I don't think you can get that position because you're too short. Everybody in that position, they are 1 meter 90 or something, and you are 170 centimeter. How do you expect to sit? People will just be looking down on you, not looking, understand? And you have to be staying up in the room to talk to everybody. So this I don't know if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but for me, going through this journey or reading your project and reading everything that you put out about empowerment, it helps me to reflect on myself and all the inadequacies I think I have. And I say, my skin color should not affect me from getting the job position I'm applying for. So can you throw some light into that self-empowerment for human beings, for us personally?
Yeah, you definitely. I'm just very inclined or biased. People say biased, but I'm very, moved towards the women's side. But basically, everybody needs a sort of encouragement in their lives. Everybody needs to know that they're good enough. I heard one thing once, it's not mine, and it's about the fact that when you hear a negative thing, the way it processes the way that particular thought or like stays in your head, you need like much more positive thing to get out that negative thought from your head. So imagine when you hear one negative thing, you might need like 3 other positive things to counter that one negative thing. Now imagine when you hear about 5 negative things, you need about, 15 other positive things to get out these 5 things. Like, positive things do not stick as much as negative things would. Why would you think that you see celebrities reply to trolls and they don't reply to, love messages about, I really love you so much, I love what you do and stuff like that? Because these negative messages get to us a lot. We're humans, right? So when you keep listening to negative things and, you keep hearing a number of things, these things that you hear form your thought pattern. It forms the entire person that you are. So all of these things make us as humans believe that we're not good enough. We cannot do a number of things, that, we are less than who we are. And
Yes.
and actually, we can be so much more. I read something once about how we're using just a tiny little bit of our brain. We feel like we're like there. But we just need to stretch more, and we realize that we're like elastic. We could be
Yes.
anything and everything we want to be. You could dream to. I tell myself a lot that if I decide to leave the path of social sciences,
Yes.
I said that today I want to be a medical doctor. You said that I'll become a medical doctor in a matter of years. It's just,
Of course.
it's just like, we could be anything. We just need to know that deep down that we could actually be these things. I emphasize so much on mentality and what goes on in our heads, because these things actually affect how we act, what we do, how we channel our actions, our thoughts, our opinion, our life. Basically, it all reflects from what goes on in our minds, who we think of ourselves. So all of us need some sort of encouragement. I think that the most important thing is for us to probably watch what goes into our minds, like what goes into our ears, what we hear, what we feed ourselves, like what we feed on, and all of these things. And we should guard our mind so much. If possible for you to put like some 3,000 battalion, 1 million army in front of your mind, just to guard that mind of yours, because your mindset determines how your life will turn out eventually. So if you keep thinking that you're not good enough, you keep applying for mediocre jobs, keep doing mediocre things, you put yourself down so much.
Yes. Wow. Well, I mean, I've really learned a lot from all of this. I mean, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. You made mention of one thing, and I want to bring it back to women empowerment, because I'm going to take your answer and apply it to myself. and it is, as a woman, you as a lady, a young lady, how do you react to all these negative comments? I'm sure you receive like maybe some stupid or negative comment from people, or people make some some idiotic or some ignorant comment or whatever, and some of these things you cannot control them, right? And normally we are meant to control the negativity that comes into our lives. How do you deal with this as a person, as a lady, and how do you push it out?
When I say that we should watch what goes into our minds or what we hear, these are things that, like, you can watch the kind of friends that you keep, like the kind of people you surround yourself with. You can watch what you watch, what you listen to. But for example, you put something on social media and somebody comes into your DM and says, you're looking a little bit fat. I put something like this on my status on my Instagram once. You're looking a little bit fat. Some people say this out of stupid ignorance. Like, some people are like super ignorant and they don't know it. They have no idea. Like, you're ignorant, you don't know that you're ignorant. It's just like some loop. What do they call this thing? Infinite loop or whatever of stupidity. You just keep going and going and you don't know that you're stupid. Yeah. So sometimes, like I said, it it would most likely get to you. We're humans, right? Yes, things would get to you. But back to what I said about happiness, you have to be able to determine what constitutes or what you define as happiness. So if you're going to let this person who is probably just, in an infinite loop or whatever, and to keep telling you that you're looking fat, you could never model with us again because you're looking this, you're looking that, or you're not beautiful enough. They keep, most of the time, people push or project their insecurity on you. It probably has a problem. And so we need to understand that, yes, we're watching all of things around us, things that we hear. But like I said, you guard it to the very last. So all of these things, like now you're watching the things that you hear, the people that you surround yourself with, and then this person tries to troll you, and then the army that you have in front of your mind wouldn't even let it get to you. You have to determine what. You have to be the source of your own happiness, not some person. You blush when people say that you're looking good and all of that, but then that shouldn't still be happiness for you. Do you understand? The same way trolls and negative comments shouldn't also be a source of sadness to you. Just ignore them. Ignore the fact that this person is just ignorant there, and just leave them, because people would always talk. People would always talk. That's why. So you have to be selfish. You have to be you. You have to think about what happiness is to you. Otherwise, people will just say this, you'll be sad. People will say another thing, you'll be sad. If you want to be sad, be the reason you're sad. If you want to be happy, be the reason you're happy. Don't give anybody such power over you.
Yeah. Wow, that is deep. Don't give someone else power over you. That's very, very important.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. And I want to I'm so excited about this. Your project, Dear Adisa. But before we come to that, before we come to Dear Adisa, there's this touching part for me, and that is I believe that before you can love someone else, you have to love yourself. You have to love your life. You have to love the environment around you. You have to, love who you are, your flaws, everything, just the way you are, just how you are. Love yourself. So how is that to you? How do you fall in love with yourself? Even when you look at the mirror and you're like, oh, this can be changed differently, this can be different, but still, you're still in love with yourself.
Yes. I totally agree. I believe that you should love yourself a lot. I think I wrote it somewhere in that particular book, that you should love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you give other people permission to love you anyhow. If you love yourself in a particular way, then you tell people how to love you. Do you understand? So you set the standard for what you want. You set the pace for the kind of love that you want. So if you love yourself to an extent where you know that, guy, I can't go below this, you already know. You already set the standard for yourself, because you cannot love me less than I love myself. If you're not going to be on the same level with me, okay, please. Please, you should love yourself so much. But I feel like there is a difference between when you say that you love yourself and then you have romantic love or romantic relationship. I think it's different in the sense that, for example, okay, sometimes, like I mentioned, sometimes I'm overwhelmed with the number of projects. I just want to go to a friend's place and I just want to relax. It doesn't mean that I do not love myself and that's why I'm not staying in my room. I just want this other person around and I just want to sleep. There is, I really don't know how to explain it, but most importantly, how you want to be loved, how you expect to receive love from someone is dependent on you, and it starts from how you love yourself. So when you love yourself to a reasonable extent, you determine how someone else loves you. If you don't love yourself, people will love you anyhow, and you don't want that. So love yourself to a reasonable extent where you dictate how people love you, especially somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with.
That's true. Yeah. So it's about self-worth. Wow. So I should love myself. I know this is who I am. This is what I deserve actually. No one will give me less than that. If someone gives me less, I will like, sorry, this is not this is not what I want. But if I don't have that in place, then I'll be like, whatever comes, I just accept like that because I don't know better.
Exactly, because you don't know. It's not because you just want to accept it, but because you don't even know how to love yourself. You don't. I there is this song that I love a lot. This lady, Tatiana, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. She says it's dangerous to let someone love you more than you love yourself. To love yourself, everyone changes. You should love your flaws. You should love yourself yesterday, today, tomorrow, always. So that your loving yourself should not be dependent on how people love you. You have independently. You love yourself. You love yourself too much. I tell you that you love yourself too much. Is you that no? Yes, I love myself. I set the pace.
Yeah. Yeah, that complements what you said earlier, that we have to take control over our life and everything that comes around us. Like, be the one that set the pace of your life and know what you deserve and self-worth. So, what inspired this dear Adisa? Can you give me the inside gist?
Okay, I have friends who, I don't know, there are people that if they listen to this particular episode,
yeah,
they're gonna come to my DM and say, why are you preaching what you don't know?
What do you mean? Tell us that one too. I want to know, what is it that you're preaching that you don't know?
Let me tell you. So on this day, I sleep late. I sleep very late. So on this day, I couldn't sleep, and I think I didn't want to work as well. So I just was in the mood to write, and I wrote something. It was a love thing. It was the very first thing, like the very first thing I have in my book. It's the description of. Okay, so that day I thought about. Okay, first of all, Adisa is the name of my cousin.
Okay.
It's the name of my cousin, and I wanted to. My name is Aduni, so I wanted to write from a Yoruba setting kind of thing. Like, I wanted it to be like Aduni writing to somebody. I didn't want to use my elder brother's name, so I thought about Adisa, and it kind of matches with my name. It's my cousin's name, and I'm like, okay, let me just use Adisa.
Yeah.
And then I wrote the Adisa, this, that. And then when I wrote it, so one of my friends he's even a poet himself. He's part of people that wrote something in my book. And then he came and was like, okay, in the end, we know that you're going to end it with a tragic story. Okay. So I love to write, but most of the time, yeah, my writing is maybe tend towards tragedy or whatever. So, and he says, well, you're going to end it with a very sad story. And I'm like, what do you mean? What is this? He said, yes, I know you. I dare you to write 7 days. I dare you to write love poems for 7 days consecutively without diluting it with a tragedy. And I took up this challenge. Yeah. And I continuously wrote every single day about the Adisa that did not exist. I wrote it, and a number of people followed it. It was just very surprising because it was something that just, came as a challenge, a dare, and a number of persons looked forward to it. And a friend of mine called me one night. We talked for like 3-4 hours, and he kept saying, this is bad, this is this is that. I'm like, okay. I also got to church, and a lot of people were saying, I'm like, oh, people have been following this thing. And a number of people just like followed. And then I think on the 7th day, I ended with a tragedy. I kind of broke up with Adisa.
But why do you always end it with tragedy? Why is it like that?
It's just my kind of, for example, even the kind of movies that I see. Yeah, I love thrillers. I love, I just feel like things don't, for love, it's not always like it's not always like a smooth journey. It's like going up and down, yes. Up and down. And yeah, so there are times that you say you want to you feel like ending something. There are stages. There is a stage where you are going crazy over this person. You cannot breathe without this person. There is a stage you're becoming normal. There's a stage you are frustrated. There are stages to all of these things.
Yes.
So I just didn't want to write something that was not realistic. And I was tired. I was tired of the everyday writing. I was tired because I wanted to write something else that was not love, but I was stuck to this because I was doing a challenge. And then I just ended it. And the day I posted that, oh my God, my WhatsApp was on fire. People came, I was like, why did you have to do this? Like, you didn't have to do this. Why did you have to? And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the opportunity to write, whatever it is that you want to write. Write to your Adisa, write to your Adjuni, just write and send it to me. And I'll make them into an image and, and upload. Oh my God. I was surprised at the turnout. I got tired. I got tired. I'm like, I'm a student. I have schoolwork to do, please. It was so overwhelming that I think that's the best part of this book for me. That a number of persons wrote me. I was like, I never knew that I could write. Someone wrote a love thing and then sent it to our partner, and the guy was like, I wrote this for you. I said, no, I wrote to myself. My friend just motivated me, and there was a number of people tagged me on Instagram. There was a particular post and somebody said people that have made you do things you didn't know that you had, and like different people tagged me on that post. I felt so honored. Like it's like the best part for me. And a number of people wrote different things, and I just said it in passing that I could make an anthology out of it because I'd always wanted to have an anthology to my name. I read one anthology when I was in secondary school. And I loved it. So I had always thought about owning or authoring an anthology. And I thought, okay, with your consent, I could make an anthology out of this. And I said, okay, an anthology of poems.
which was very brilliant. It was very wonderful. I mean, I when you released it, I read it. Then also, as in today and some days back, I opened it again. I was like, let me read it again and see. I love it because I believe that. For me, on a journey of self-improvement or self-reflection, it's important for me to love myself, and much more important for me to love other people and fall in love also, because it's very important to fall in love and feel vulnerable sometimes and all that stuff, which is good. Because we are human and we are meant to love other people, and and that's why I was drawn to it. And I was like, we have to talk about it anyways. And I don't know if you would love to read one to me and just blow me away. And
okay, when you said that I was gonna read, I totally love this. And one thing that I also love about this is the fact that it's just people have always thought that poems are supposed to be complicated and not understandable. I love the simplicity about this particular piece. It's not a perfect piece. But it is a piece that comes with simplicity. People would easily understand. And the idea I had was I wanted to make it into a story. Like I said, I'm a storyteller. So even if I write poems, I want it to be in the sequence of a story. So if you follow the Adisa, you realize that from the beginning there was a description of Adisa, who Adisa was. There was a part where the description of Adjuni. There was a part where they had problems, where Adisa and Adjuni broke up. There was a part where they missed themselves, where they wanted to get back together, where they eventually got back together. All of these things. It was sort of a story, but like an anthology of poems in a story sequence.
And it was mostly like they are Adjuni, then later to be they are Adisa, then like that. There was only one page that was just they are Adisa all through. And that was really enjoyable too.
And okay, I'm just gonna read. I do not have a favorite part. I'm just gonna read this part and I would explain why I read this part. It's the 5th page. Surreal attraction. Dear Adisa, today I kissed you on the street. Everyone stared. I didn't care. You've never really bothered. Just so you know, I love how you raised my chin and stared into my eyes just before you placed your lips on mine. I'd be crazy to overthink this love. Elope, shall we? And then the other part is, dear Adjuni, yes, we had a glorious experience on our street of Damascus. Not scared of Saul and his entourage. Secretly, I was, but you are the voice from above. I will be forever in your debt. What am I to do when my traditional beliefs come flooding? I have to take charge. I have to become Paul, hiding my insecurities on your lips. We're in love. Stay and enjoy this moment. That's written by a friend of mine, Adeniyo.
Wow.
The reason why I read this part is the last part where I wrote, I said, I'd be crazy to overthink this love. I'm an overthinker, like I mentioned before. Yeah, so there is the high probability for me to overthink sometimes, even love. Like overthink, like think so much and like think and think and think but you really cannot get the perfect, like get to that perfect love. Like God gives the perfect love. I believe in God. Like God gives the perfect love, not humans. The perfect love is not in humans. So if you're looking for the perfect love, you really cannot get it in humans. Like you're telling people to be what they're not, who they're not, right? So I have every tendency to overthink.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want to say, oh, I'm not overthinking anymore. I just want to do this without without thinking. I think that when you're in love with somebody, you should not overthink it. Because when you overthink sometimes, you might continue to see reasons why you should not be with that person.
Well, can you tell me what are the things that you overthink about? And when you know you like this person quite alright, but what are those things that you now think about that you even overthink and make you think, oh, maybe not?
You think about the littlest things. You think about how. Okay, let me talk about myself. I could think about how you opened the door for me. I'd be like, okay, why did you open the door for me? What's the reason behind opening this door for me? Why are you opening this door for me because I'm a woman and you think that I'm weak? I'm very, very concerned about mentality. Very, very concerned about mentality. So sometimes that's even, to me, that's very important. But I'm thinking about the mundane things. We have an argument and sometimes it might just be your facial expression. I start to overthink that facial expression. I start to think that, okay, so does this mean that the way this guy is looking at me now is going to look at me like this in the next 20 years? Is he going to do this? Is he going to? I just make problems out of nothing sometimes because I keep overthinking things, right? So sometimes it's very good. You see, this is not me saying that you should not be sure before you enter a relationship. No. What I'm saying is, yes, think about things, but do not overthink. Because the more you stall and overthink, the more you see reasons why not to be. Because overthinking sometimes tends towards the negative part. Then you begin to see why you should not be with this person instead of thinking about why you should be with this person.
Wow. So I want to focus on the positive parts actually.
Yeah. Of course, positive and negative. But then do not dwell so much on the negative that you lose sight of the good person in front of you.
Yeah. I mean, we should not really focus on the red flags. So.
Please, wait though.
Is that what you're trying to tell us now?
There are red flags. Please don't enter into an abusive relationship and say they said something. Please. But then there are red flags. But these things are not. Red flags are red because they are danger, right? They are red for a reason. They're not like maybe nude. They are red. You would always see them. Yes. But now when you do not, or when you've seen the red flags or things that you cannot deal with, or maybe red flags that you can deal with or whatever, now you leave that and you begin to see even the blue, the gray, the nude flags that do not exist.
Yeah.
That's overthinking. You should think about getting it. You should be sure. Like you should have that. Your entire self should be into this, right? But not overthinking it to the extent that you begin to see every reason why you should not be with this person.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I've learned a lot from you today. Like I have to love myself and make sure that I don't overthink it so that I don't say this person is not right for me because of this and that and that and
that even boils down to you loving yourself. Because when you can overthink, why would this person love me? Sometimes it does not make sense to you. Be like, there's no reason why this person would love me. There is no reason. This person is like too perfect for me. Like, this lady is super brilliant. This lady is super this. There is no way I'm going to believe that this girl loves me. That's you overthinking. Someone says she loves you. Or someone says he loves you. And you keep overthinking. Yes, think about it. But then your overthinking should not come from a place of second guessing yourself. You deserve love. You deserve it. So you shouldn't think about, why would this person love me? Why not? That's the question. Why wouldn't the person love you?
Wow. Yeah. I'm going to take that away with me now.
Don't leave me.
don't leave me. I really appreciate this. Thank you so much for everything I've been able to learn from you today. I'm going to
Thank you so much for having me. You do a really good job. You do a really, really good job. Yes.
Thank you so much. But can you tell us, like, just shortly, like, where we can, find all your good works and how we can follow you?
There are plenty.
Just try to also that.
Okay. I have already, like I mentioned, I host a radio show with my friend, and it's called A Good Day in Africa. So you could follow that on, if you go to our Facebook page, A Good Day in Africa on Facebook. So there are other links that you can see. We have a podcast as well, talks from our radio. It's also on our podcast, and the link to the podcast is also on our Facebook page. So basically, you can follow us on Facebook. Facebook page, A Good Day in Africa, and I also have a blog that I've abandoned. So it's everythinginclusive.blogspot.com, and I also have I was going to say something. Yes, you should read Dear Adisa. It's very bad. So you can find Dear Adisa on just a second. DearAdisa.wordpress.com.
Yeah, WordPress.com.
So it's there for easy download. And where else?
And it's free.
What?
I mean, it's free to download.
Yes, it's very free. It's very free. And I also put, words of wisdom on my Instagram page. So you can follow me on Instagram at mide_Olayiwola. So these are basic places where you can find me.
That's great. And I'm going to keep in touch with you on all platforms and make sure that I'm tapping word of wisdom from you directly, and hopefully maybe we'll come. I'll get time again to speak with you on a different topic or something else, or maybe we'll just share our status on the journey so far, on my self-improvement, for example, or I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Toby.
Wow,
Thank you.
This is so amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I am eternally grateful for your time, your love, and contributions. You mean a lot to me. Thank you once again for listening and sharing with your loved ones. Don't forget to subscribe and follow this journey on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms in the description. Stay blessed.